Hello, welcome once again to 7 Deadly Sins 2011. I hope that you're doing well. I hope that you are, well, just generally ready and excitable for another gaming session, another retro gaming video. This time we're back to Mega Man and we're ending it once and for all. This is part 3 of 3. Let me know if you're interested in seeing me do more Mega Man games. Well, obviously this is the first one. And if you're interested in seeing more, let me know in the comments below. Feel free also to, like, subscribe, share, do all those zany things. And do that while you witness me being the noob in this game. But yeah, we are doing the last part of Mega Man, and we are clearing the Dr. Wily stage. But before that, we have to clear the Electman stage once again, because as I hinted in the previous video, there was something about this stage that I had left undone, and we are redoing it before we move on to the actual final stretch of this game. For the record, once again, this is post-recorded commentary. This is not recorded as I play the game at the same time. This is not, as a matter of fact, this is recorded after the recording of gameplay was done, so I can focus entirely on commenting what you're seeing while the gameplay unfolds. So I am planning on changing it up this weekend, as I am preparing to dive into another round of gameplay recording. The next game that we're going to be showing is Burnout Revenge for PS2 once again. And that time I'm going to record myself commenting while I'm recording the gameplay. So you're gonna be listening to quote-unquote live commentary for that part. But for now, we're sticking with post-recorded, and yeah, and as you can see, we're still doing the save states thing because this game is tricky as hell. Thankfully, because I had a lot of save states this time, I was able to, power through the game a lot faster in editing than it might seem. Although in real life, I had a lot of tries, so it took me way longer to record this than you might think this video hints at. I actually had something in the lines of close to 2 hours of recorded footage, and I trimmed it down to, I believe, 30 minutes, which is a miracle of editing, I would say. I, for some reason, thought that the Gutsman power arm would be able to get me that energy cell, which is very dumb to assume. The good thing about those spamming electrocutal things is that they only show up once or twice, and then they leave. Unlike these things, which if you don't have the firearm or the firestorm, they are much trickier to get through. These things are horrible, but at least they're kind of. They show up once and they don't really show up again afterward. So this is the part of the game that I missed the first time when I did this Electman stage, which is the magnet beam. I did not get the magnet beam. Strangely enough, because I didn't think I needed to. I assumed it wasn't necessary, and I also didn't really know that I could use Gutsman's power arm to get through it. Well, ultimately, when I realized that I had to go back and get it, I actually started recording the Dr. Wily stage until I got to a point in the castle that is impossible to pass without the magnet beams. I really had to come back and get it. It is not optional at all, in case you're planning to revisit this game or visit this game for the first time like I did. I'm telling you right now, the magnet beam is not an optional. You need to get it. I apologize if I sound a little tired today. It's Saturday, so I'm a little tired, but and yeah, having to do this stage again was a little annoying, but at least there was an active purpose for it. This was around the time in which I realized how you could beat Big Eye. However, I kind of screwed it up this time and managed to not really get the big robot thing in the angle that I hoped for. That said, I'm glad that it didn't really cripple all my health, even though it might as well have, because I was walking into the Robot Master boss battle. Yeah, and my thought process was exactly that. Let's just commit suicide and start all over with all the HP restored, even 1 less life. This part was very suspenseful, let me tell you. Even I'm in suspense while I watch this bit. Thankfully, it kind of it ends, and then you just get to the boss battle. And the boss battle is actually pretty easy because when you realize that the rolling cutter is Lackman's biggest weakness, it's just kind of a 2 to 3 hit battle. So yeah. Right, I think now we're actually ready to face Dr. Wily at this point. This is going to be a 4-stage marathon, so bear with me. It's going to take a bit. That thing is so annoying. Right, out of the get-go, getting into Dr. Wily's big tower castle was, as I just said, a marathon, and I didn't really know entirely everything that I was getting into myself. I was more or less prepared for this first stretch, but even then, it's not entirely true. Well, even then, my plan to skip over this part failed, so... Oof, this bit. Yeah, the whole fire geyser things were also pretty bad to go through. Took a bit. Thankfully, they were doable. But yeah, this whole Wily stage really isn't a cakewalk. But then again, neither is any part of the game. And again, I apologize if you're seeing this this edit chopped to little pieces. Since I use a lot of safe states, which yes, that qualifies me as a cheater, but I'll take it. Since I used a lot of safe states, I had to basically just hop around and do a lot of a lot of little slicing and cutting. That was very close. Oh boy. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that you can use the magnet beam to just skip over this bit entirely, but I don't know, I find that's extremely annoying to get through. So I just kind of pushed my luck here and went for a big, just kind of skipped over this whole bit. Right. What you're seeing right now is me basically just following a guideline of a walkthrough. Basically, I went back and forth and tried to get as much replenishing of my weapons as I could. But basically, I'm climbing upwards and backwards of the ladder in order to replenish all of my energy in my weapons. So basically, I'm just farming. I'm farming right now, but a necessary thing considering the amount of energy that would be required to overtake the mini boss or boss of this specific part of the Dr. Wily Castle. Yeah, and I'm still going, by the way. Yeah, I apologize if this part is a bit repetitive. It's a mini little slog, but we'll get to where we're supposed to. Don't rush out just yet. Seems this is around the point in which I straight up give up and just go. I just kind of decide that I'm gonna get out of here. By the way, this was the part of the game that I had to go back and get the magnet beam for because I couldn't beat this part without it. Right, now here comes the Yellow Devil. I've heard that this is the most difficult part of the game. And yeah, if you don't know this trick that I'm about to show you, it is, without a doubt, one of the hardest parts of the game. And sure enough, I just died right there. But I'm gonna show you a little trick in case you don't know. If you do know, you know what it is. If you don't know what it is, I'm gonna show you what you can do to beat this part, and others in the game if you find yourself in the doghouse. I realized that my editing here was not very good. I apologize for that. Right, this is the little trick. You use Electman's weapon, and then you just kind of spam the select button until your boss goes down. And sure enough, what may seem like an incredibly difficult battle is resolved in the case of a few seconds. That said, this is a glitch, so it's not even necessarily like an official way to, to get past your opponent. Well, pardon if you're hearing this second part of the video a little differently in terms of the audio. There were some mixing issues, if you will, but, ignore that. We're still learning here. I'm still a little green, and even though I have education in cinema. Cinema is my passion. I like video games as well, my hobbies. But even though I did have formation in technical elements of audiovisual, including sound. Sound design has always been one of my weak points. So pardon me if the audio is a little rough. It has been rough all of my years. We're learning. We're learning when we're done. Anyway, we're now dealing with the second stage of Dr. Wily's Castle, dealing with Cutman. This was actually it was actually a re-recording. When I say re-recording, I mean I had already died before, and I went after Cutman again. But yeah, you know, these hiccups are always going to happen every time you're dealing with saves and recordings. But yeah, we got through. Now we're getting through another part of Dr. Wily Castle Stage 2. Now we're dealing with the Electman stage. Like what happened a few minutes ago in the boss battle in his own stage, it's pretty much a 3-hit battle, because with the rolling cutter, it's pretty easy. Cutman's battle is also pretty easy if you know that the Mega Buster is Cutman's weakness. So, it's simple. Now we're getting into a battle that isn't as simple, but it is equally as rewarding every time that you manage to get through it. But before that, there's still this whole bit, not making things less complicated. That said, there were more difficult bits all day long, even in this stage. I'm doing things very methodically. Well, methodically, and then I just kind of drop and take damage. So not so methodically after all. And at this point, I was just really close to dying, so probably should just quit before I had the chance. And sure enough, there you go. Still, there was a positive to this, that I managed to go back and reconsider something that I'm about to do, which is to get that little 1-up. It was just about the smartest thing I could have done. And then I went ahead and tried again. One thinks that I'm about to do something very smart, and then I don't. Right. I was counting on dropping all the way straight away down. Now I did. Even when things may not seem as difficult, I always have to make them extra difficult. I like that. I like that too. But here's when I try to get probably just right about the time to run away. Alright, here we go into another little boss battle. The Mega Man clone. It was not easy trying to find this guy's weakness, but, you know, it is what it is. This first time was obviously a flop, and I had to start all the way back. But I was able to quickly get back on track. And we have to go through this whole process again. But, yeah. restart fairly quickly, and I decided to take him on with Firestorm, which does take quite a hefty amount of power. Oh, it was very close. Right, what you're seeing here is a game over screen. Like I said before, I had to restart this whole bit, and we're just gonna resume from where we left, or where we left, quote unquote. I don't want to force you guys to actually see all of my failed attempts to clear these levels. We're just gonna sit through the ones that are more or less successful. Because no one really deserves to go through so much failure. Yeah. Ignore the telegram thing. Close. It's still not perfect. Now we get to a stage that may seem, or a part of the stage that may seem a little difficult, but it's actually kind of easy. Basically, you're just on autopilot mode because you're about to face Iceman. So the stage is slippery. So basically, you just kind of have to slightly inch forwards. You automatically move, and basically just spam the Mega Buster for all the little penguin things that move. Just spam. Basically, there's no way of missing. Oops. I was a little weak. Right, now we're getting into I forget the name of this robot thing, but basically you have to pop these bubbles at least 7 times. The first 3 times were done well, maybe not this time. Yeah, health. But very soon after. Once, twice, third time, and now we switch to the power arm. We're gonna take those little block things. We're just gonna wreck the robots with them. There's a reason why they're placed on the stage. There you go. Third stage clear. One last stage in Dr. Wily's castle, and we're done with Mega Man. Yeah, yeah, what you just saw was me doing the exact same process as the last stage. Ignore it. We're just going to show you the bits that actually matter. The electro things again. I hadn't had enough of them this time. Thankfully, I was able to not take too much damage there. And now we have to take the turnips and screw the turnips. No pun intended. Tricky bastards. Yeah, and when you go back, you have to destroy them again. Fair enough. We get another bit of the falling platforms from, I believe, is it Gutsman stage? I believe, yes, it was Gutsman stage. Thankfully, this time it wasn't bad, because I had the magnet, so I could make things much simpler. And I got a one-up right before the final stretch of the game. Now, you're not going to see me boss through it this time, because again, my HP was reduced to half. But I did still give it a try. But Bomb Man, under these circumstances, even Bomb Man didn't do much. And I was still able to beat him. But then you get this guy, and you pummeled. Fireman is one of the hardest robot masters, for sure. At least in this game. Right, we're getting it on again. And again, with Bomb Man, just make sure that you have Fireman's gun, the Firestorm. It's his weakness. Or at least, I think so? I'm very hard to believe. Keen on believing that that's the case. Then we get Fireman. By the way, in the Dr. Wily 4 stages, you have to beat the Robot Masters again, so we had already beaten 2, and now we got the other 4. And Fireman is beatable too, but again, difficult. Next we have Iceman, and we have to use Electman stage, the Thunder or Blast or something. But Electman is beaten pretty easily like that. And finally we have Gutsman. This one is one of the hardest ones to beat, but mostly because Bomb Man's weapon is not very good. Sure enough, though, we did get the job done, even though we were pretty low on time. Thankfully, when you get to this part, it reboots in case you die right here. It's checked. And finally, we got to Dr. Wily's final boss battle. Again, it won't be this time, just letting you know that's right. It won't be this time as in I won't be able to do it in this particular line. But as you can see, I did try to overcome the odds with the same glitch that I used to beat the Yellow Devil, which makes life so much easier than this try to actually beat Dr. Wily without it. Although, if you do manage to get that done, you're a boss. But thankfully, we did get that HP replenish once we lost a life. Sometimes losing a life is good. And by the way, I just want to correct something that I've been saying, that I said in one of my past videos. Did I actually say Proto Man was created directly for the Battle Network series? I think I said that before. I want to correct my huge mishap. I didn't know that Proto Man was actually based on the actual games as well. So pardon my newness there. But yeah, that's just a little side note. This was around the time in which I thought that a fireman's gun would be able to make things much easier, but it didn't entirely. Pardon for the noises, by the way. And it was right at the edge of losing, but I was able to bring Dr. Wily to his knees. And with that, we have beaten Mega Man. So, that was it. I'm glad, or at least I hope, that you enjoyed these Mega Man videos. Look out for more content in the near future. Until next time, bye.